like I played a game. You know, first off, obviously, that was a heck of a, gutsy win by our guys on the road. It's never easy to go on the road, playing a talented, really good Florida State football team. That tells you what talent we've got in that room. And you guys saw the numbers come out as far as the guys we had that didn't travel down here, that were out, and we did it with the next man up. It doesn't matter who's out there. Our guys fought. That's how we finish. Couldn't be prouder of those guys in there. There were some big old plays. We're obviously a different offense when Desmond Reed's out there. Mason played a heck of a game. Boosie, I think, had 2 rushing TDs, I believe. And our defense got stops when they needed to. And then it comes down to an onside kick. Our guys, obviously got that. I think Kyle Lewis got that recovery there, which is huge. That's a game-changing play right there. And then our offense gets 1 first down. And we get in the best formation in the country in that victory formation. So, again, the players who made all the plays in there, they executed and they finished. So, questions?
What can you say about your defense? Undermanned, but coming up in those big spots.
Yeah, no doubt about it. We were undermanned, especially at the end and safety. You saw Cruz Brickens didn't go today. I thought Kavir Baines played a heck of a game. He's a football player. We've talked about that before. Those guys in the back end, did what they needed to do. Gave up too many big passes. I didn't like that, but I thought we did a pretty good job stopping the run. I don't know how many yards they got. I can't tell with 42 rushes, I think. But, they got us a little bit in the second half. I thought we, killed the run in the first half. But just happy for our kids.
Having Des back in there, what kind of, options does that give Mason? How much easier does that make playing offense?
Well, he's special. And again, I've told you, Boosie's special. Joel's Goff is special. Boosie made some big runs, but Desmond catches up all down the field. He's just a special player, and I think he's healthy too coming out of it. I hope he feels good in the morning.
At what point did you know Des was going to go? Was it an all-week thing? He was listed as questionable.
Yeah, he was, again, day to day, but we felt like for sure on Wednesday that he was going to be able to go. To what extent, we didn't know. I don't know how many plays he had today. It looked like about 40. So he played about half the game. I just want to make sure we didn't lose him for the rest of the year. But he's a tough dude, and he's a football player.
Mason throws 2 picks, first turnovers of his career. But what did you see on those plays?
You have to go back and watch the tape. The first one was a great punt, right? It was down the field, great punt. We didn't have to put the protection was great, and we didn't have to punt protect. Obviously, we had a huge, block punt there in the third quarter. We got no points from it. That was disappointing. And again, he threw another pick, just trying to make a play. But, that's going to happen, especially out of a young quarterback. Shoot, it's going to happen with an old quarterback, 10-year vets throwing picks like that. So he's a football player, and he didn't lose any faith. That's the difference is, he threw that second pick, which was probably the worst of the 2. He didn't mind that, taking a shot down the field. It was, he fought back and didn't care. And he finished the game the way you want a quarterback to finish it.
And just overall, how did you feel he managed the environment and being in a road game in the second half?
Stephen, we got a victory on the road. I think he did one hell of a job. So you couldn't do any better than what he did today.
Talk about the first drive, Coach. 3 fourth-down conversions and getting a touchdown right out of the gate. You had a lot of confidence in your own quarterback to do that.
No doubt about it. 3 fourth-down conversions, as you said, 8 minutes, 5-second drive. That's demoralizing to a defense when you can do that. And our guys just executed. Again, like I said, it comes down to details, focus, and execution. And that's what not only Mason did, but that entire O-block, our O-line did one unbelievable job today. I think there was a lot of disrespect for them coming in the field. I think they were talking a lot of trash on the field as well about how they weren't any good. Well, I guess they are pretty damn good. I'll take them. I'll take them over that O-line for sure.
Do a couple more.
You opted to run some plays instead of kneel at the end of the first half. They ended up getting points at the end there. Would you do the same thing?
Yeah, I would do the same thing. We just wanted to, run a couple plays, and disappointed that we, I don't know what happened at the end. Who knows? We didn't have headsets on. The officials tell us the half's over, so half our guys are in the locker room. That was not right. I don't get why it even happened. We should have been in the locker room. We shouldn't have got to that. And then we come out in the second half and have to kick from the 20. So, wasn't really happy about that. But that's how it's been going all year.
What does a win like this do for your team? It seemed like it was a really happy locker room in there.
Every win, it's hard to win. It's hard to win on the road. Our kids, like I said, they deserve it. They fought all year. We've been in some games. We had a couple tough ones that we could be, we're this far from being an undefeated football team right now. I think we got one heck of a football team, and we get to go out and do it again this weekend, 7:30 up at Syracuse, and our guys are fired up about a night game.
You know, it's Pitt defense. We do our 111. Everybody whose name gets called, you got to show up. You got to perform. That's what we did.
How big was that fumble around midfield fourth quarter for you guys just getting some momentum?
It was big. It was always big. It's always big to get a takeaway, especially against a great offense like that. You know, we have good ball players. You know, my man Brad got the fumble recovery, so happy for him.
Can you describe what it was like in the locker room? I mean, you guys have had 2 losses this year, both really close, but you guys come out on the right side of this one. What did it feel like to get this one?
Feels great. A dub is always great, especially as a Pitt Panther. Dub is great. We can't wait to get home, see the Kathy lit up, so that's going to be great.
The way you guys finish, just limiting Florida State late in the game, just how good does that feel to do it on the road?
It feels great. It's a great environment here. Like I said, they're a great team. We're a great team as well, so it just felt great to be out there in that environment, hearing the that was a big moment for me.
Any final? Devere, thank you.
Appreciate y'all. Thank you so much. Get home safe.
To have celebrated a win like that.
It's everything you ever dream of for sure. I think this is just something that is a blessing and a dream come true for me. But it's more about the team and winning games, and that's all it's about here. And this is just such a great moment for this university and this locker room for sure. And it's a blessing. So I'm very excited for sure.
How much easier is it to play offense with Desmond Reed out there?
He made, like I said this last week a lot, and I feel bad because I keep repeating myself, but he makes my life so much easier. I mean, he's just an absolute stud, and we've got great running backs as well. When Dez isn't ready to go, or if he needs a breather, or if he's a little banged up. I mean, Boosie played a heck of a game today. Joel's played a heck of a game today. It's just we got weapons all over the field, and like I said, I'm gonna repeat myself once again, but it just makes my job so easy for sure.
I mean, I think the TV broadcast said Dez was thrown up on the sideline. He's cramping up. You guys are undermanned on defense. I mean, what does it say about this team to be able to pull out a win like that when you have so much work against you?
There's just so much heart, and there's so much grit in this team, and there's no quit. There's no quit at all, and it's a testament to how hard we as a team have worked in the off season, and going through the spring and summer and fall camp, and just getting to where we're at right now it just shows how hard everybody's worked and how bought in everybody is for sure.
It seemed like Dez was just open consistently over the middle throughout the game. How was he so open, and how often are you thinking, I'm going to try and find him over the middle?
I think it's just how much of a stud he is, in all honesty. I mean, there's just no other way to put it. He's just an absolute dog, and when they drop out and play a lot of deep zone, and I know I got to get it back to my checkdowns, he's always open, so he makes it really easy for sure.
Can you take us through your 2 interceptions that you did?
It's just trying to force the ball a little bit too much. It's just those mistakes that can't happen, especially on the second one after a blocked punt in the red zone. I mean, that's just can't happen. That's a mistake that I'm gonna learn from and take with me during film tomorrow and get better. You know what I mean? Those are mistakes that can't happen, and I'm just glad we were able to bounce back and get a dub for sure.
You mentioned the grit and bouncing back. I mean, what were kind of the conversations like on the sideline, and how easy was it to just get back into it?
Oh, absolutely. Everybody was very, they were very supportive for me. I like to put a lot on my shoulders, and I was a little frustrated with those 2 interceptions, but I knew we were still there, and I knew that the guys had my back for sure, and they all told me that as well, and I made sure that they knew that I wasn't going to let that faze me. We still had 2 quarters to play, and there's a lot of game left, so we just had to bounce back and go get a dub.
Against BC, we saw you, maybe extend plays with your legs, but you ran a bunch today. What was allowing you to get open?
I think it was a good amount of the man covers that they played. Just it kind of freed me up, but I also just relying on instincts and seeing a hole and going. But there are times where I probably shouldn't have taken off and ran, instead of just gotten to my 3rd and 4th reads and just checked the ball down. But it's just when you're just trying to play fast and trying to move the chains. So it's just sometimes that just happens.
I think they were trying to spy you with that linebacker 20. Were you trying to lift them off a couple times? It seemed like the middle was open when you were wanting to run
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they started doing that a lot in the second half, and I think that's what opened up a lot of our passes downfield and a lot of short throws at Dez as well. Because I mean, he was another guy that was accounting for me instead of accounting for either rushing or dropping in and playing coverage. So I think that just opened up a lot more things for us and just made it, like I said, made my job a heck of a lot easier once again.
That first drive, you guys convert 3 4th downs, 15 plays, 8 minutes. Like, how important was that to kind of setting the tone?
Oh, absolutely. That was everything. We always preach having a great first drive, just setting the tone early, like you said, and just, to be able to just drive down the field and convert on those tough 4th downs, it's huge. And I think that really set the tone for how the game was going to go for us. And, we made some mistakes, and I'll take the blame for those because that can't happen. But, we bounced back and we played a lot better.
This is one thing I always wanted to do, play in front of, a lot of people that I know, playing in my own, it's not my city, but, my state. And, this is something I've been looking forward to. I took this game very personal. I wasn't recruited by them, but, I'm happy that we got a chance to play them.
At what point in the week you're questionable, but when do you think I'm playing?
My mindset always, I got to play, this is Florida State. But, I took it day by day. Everything was getting better every day. It was a game time decision. I felt real good today, and I went out there.
How do you feel after? I think the TV broadcast said you may have been thrown up on the sideline at one point.
Oh yeah, this is first game back. I've been out for 3 weeks now, and it was tough out there. Threw up a couple times, but I tried to find a way, just to be there for the team and help them win.
Why do you think you were able to get so open so frequently in the middle of the field?
Really, come from Mason and our receivers, and Cade as well. A lot of defense we play, they don't want to get beat deep, so they'll drop linebackers back, just to make sure they don't get beat deep, and I'm wide open right there. And Mason gave me them, he threw the ball to me, and, I made some shake.
What are your impressions of Mason after, your first game action with him?
I've been knew Mason was a dog during the spring. I've been seeing, how he played. He just have a pro mindset. And he keeps getting better every game. He gonna keep getting better. He's a leader too. He talks to us a lot. When like he said, he threw them 2 picks. He never came to the sideline with his head down. He blamed himself for it and said, "We gonna get it back." So I love Mason. He a dog.
What does it say about this team? You guys had a bunch of injuries coming into today. You weren't, necessarily feeling your best. But what does it say to be able to kind of withstand the storm, withstand everything that went wrong, and pull out a win?
Really, it started with practice. This is a game we really was looking for. They're a ranked team. We lost 2 games earlier and then won the game last week. And we trying to win, man. We got to do. We can't lose no more games. That's our mindset. And no matter who's out there, we're gonna find a way to get a win. And that's what happened.
Coach said that there was maybe some trash talk on the field from Florida State, particularly towards the offensive line. What can you say about their efforts today?
O-line did their thing. I'm not gonna lie. They did their thing. The big talk about Florida State was their D-line. And our O-line did very good. I'm super proud of them boys. I can't really even say too much about it, but I'm just happy for them boys and happy with they helped us get this win. They made Mason comfortable back there. They made everybody comfortable. And, we just got the win.
How many family friends do you have today? It's a long drive.
Yeah.
How many people?
Sure, I can't even count. Cause I got a couple friends that I went to high school or that's from Miami that goes to school up here. So it was a lot of people. Here at this game.
You said you were recruited by Florida State, but did you camp with, say, Miami, Florida, USF, Florida State? Did you camp with
Yeah, mainly all the Florida teams. I went to camps. That's why I took this game first. I showed my face to their campus, and they didn't recruit me. No, I don't hate them or nothing. But I just took this game very personal.